All right, we're live. Dallas should be running along here shortly. Who all is in the house? There's Mr. Dallas.
Hey, sorry, it looks like I might be a little bit late.
Yeah, I was about 1 minute late myself, so that worked out good actually.
Okay.
I'm trying
Well,
an
it was literally,
experiment.
I'm like, oh, I got a few minutes. I'll make some tea.
I've got a muted browser down here because I'm going to try to do the on-screen thing, and I don't want to foul it up because I'm not very good at it. So,
Okay.
all right, who all's in here? Max Wedge Dick Dastardly was here at 6:30. I see. So hopefully he comes back. Turlo is stressing 118 days to go. I can understand that. Torque Racing Productions is here. SRP, he's got 100 left. Well, unfinished projects going to graduation. Good, man. All right, Henry's here. Bad Tree Productions. Buzz is in the house. Buzz says that he's here for the good seats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like this little exchange here. I saw it a minute ago. So Bad Tree says the front seats get heckled the most. And Buzz says he's had his fill of front row for the day. I can understand that.
I know the feeling.
JB's little shop is here. Not even. Not even. Joe Handy's here. Good crowd as always. Robert is here. We've got Dan E. Boyd, Muscle City Madness, NSB. One half of NSB is tied up out of state. I hope he comes on back. He's really close to 1,000. So LP94 said he's ready for the no-name nationals, but not the camaraderie. Just kidding. All right, people. The jokes never stop, do they? Oh, man. Yeah, we got a lot of guys right now whose shops are full of sanding dust. There's a lot of paint and prep work going on all across the land right now. Heavens Mopar, Scott with an S. Glad you're here. Super nice guy there. Got some good stuff going on his channel. I enjoy his channel. His channel is soothing. It's detached from some of the high tension stuff. Andy Wood, glad you're here. John Cope, glad you're here. That's some powerhouse right there. Colleen Tebow, thanks for coming out. Daddy's Money Garage says, is this where all the cool people are? Well, it is now.
Now that you're here.
Because Austin rolled up. Yeah, exactly. All right, Dude Mopar. Looking forward to seeing him running in person. He's got some fast stuff. The Nelsons are in the house. Thumper is here. Very nice. Danny Boyd reminds us to wear a mask when sanding Bondo. Hey, Jeremy's here. I never did know what happened with his car. I saw it hanging off the back of a trailer. 113 cycles. Congratulations. He is the newest member of the No Name 500 to cross the finish line. So, congratulations to 113 cycles.
Everybody's talking about Brian Cabral being a guest.
Let's see here. Well, if I sent him the link to come in, he would refuse it. Who's Your Garage is here. Don English, Lout Burns, the infamous Captain Do, and Dust Devil Garage. Well, when Dust Devil Garage hits here, the party can start. Hey, and Frank Parks, good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Yes, and 113 cycles. Lots of folks helped him get to 500. Obviously, 500 people helped him get to 500. They are his audience, and they got a great channel to watch now. Jeremy says it's self-healed. Well, aren't you lucky? All right, Dallas.
Have you ever seen Jeremy's car up close?
Not up close. It looks really cool, though.
A really clean car. I mean, really low mile, really clean car.
That's what I've heard. I love it. I like everything about that crew cab dart. Oh, man. Oh, we got a good crowd in here. We got 57 watching so far. Thank you guys for stopping in. We try to do an update live on ongoings with the No Name Nationals every other week. See, Frank's been telling. He says he's been watching us, right? I thoroughly enjoyed going down to his shop and his place doing live with him. I would love to do that again. So, Frank, if you're down with it, I'd love to bring all the hardware and us do another live. That was just a blast. I thoroughly enjoyed that. We had rocking chairs set up, Dallas. We had rocking chairs. We were interfacing, having a good time, hanging out. It was great. How can you not like rocking chairs, hanging out in a shop full of Mopar parts with a 69 Dart behind you? How was that?
Was it like I'm assuming that it was just like an uncle and his nephew sitting on the porch.
Oh, it was great.
Spitting stories, huh?
Oh, it was great. It was great. Hanging out with these guys, the time just flew. Oh yeah, all their stuff is a lot of fun. The Daddy's Money Garage guys are a lot of fun. Frank says, let's do it better this time. Well, we want to do everything better every time we do it. But we had a great time. Do Mopar. Do I have an estimated car count? Actually, I don't. I don't even count it by cars. I just count it by channels. And right now, you've got so many channels that have paid, so many channels that I'll do it next week, and all of that. That the count is just all over the place. But it's a really healthy participant count. Really healthy.
Even with some of them dropping out. Still healthy.
No, anything that's dropped off needed to. We got the healthiest crowd we've ever had right now. Conrad K65, he's glad it's Friday. Me too. Although Friday doesn't mean anything more to me than this live, really. Because all the days are working days. Hey, Buck's in the house and Dean Stevenson. Glad you guys are here. All right.
There's Andy.
Andy's here. Boy, it's jumping around quick now. Yeah, Andy's here. Yeah, Andy says that Rapid Transit Garage, Dean, John Cope, Patrick, Ruben, and every other cool person is here. Agreed. Including the rude Mopar dude, who is not rude, but that's kind of his gimmick, right? Jerry Racing is here. What's going on, everybody? Are you just here to take a victory lap? You, Mr. I got my 500 subs, and now I can just exploit magnificent content? The sock sniffers are being vetted. Y'all are having way too much fun with the drama. I'm just not that I want to delve into anything by any means, but we are at that point in the middle of the season. We're midway through between when we announced and when the event is, and I predicted with Dallas. Gosh, was it even before we announced? I said, come summertime, we're going to start having a little bit of drama because people will get restless and
we talked about the cream rising to the top, right? Because you're going to have the guys that realize that they can't make it, and just because they can't make it, they're going to. And today I was thinking about this, and the one thing that crossed my mind. Have you ever seen the movie Ronin from like the 90s?
Yeah.
You remember he talks about Sibuku in there, where the Japanese warrior faces death after losing a battle, so they pull out their sword and they cut themselves open from the stomach to their throat, and all their entrails spill out, and that's Sibuku, right? And that's what happens when you fail. And that's what I started thinking was happening here the past few weeks. A lot of Sibuku happening because people are unwilling to just say what's really happening. Hey, I either don't have enough cash to make it there, or hey, I'm not going to finish the project, right? So
mostly old parts and Rust is saying, sometimes I wish I was a somebody. Well, you may be a somebody, but we just want you to be a no-name.
Right now, you're just a no-name.
Us no-names are having a blast. Sassy Smacky's Garage. Look, somebody commented to him, so I guess he's here. Very cool. Oh, man. So anyway, so we do have a little bit of drama that gets stirred up. Sometimes it's funny, unintentionally funny. But what I'll say is don't let the 1%, it's not even 1%, don't let the 1% make the lasting impression, because we have so many channels doing so much good stuff. so much camaraderie, and so many people who are doing great things. Do not let one or two people put a damper on that for you. Okay, when we have people who need to go, they need to go and go away and just move on and leave them in the dust, because all of us are going to be having fun in Sykeston.
Well,
that's what we want to do.
What was funny was you and I both knew from the beginning, hey, this probably won't work out with this guy, because we were getting emails, like 1, 2, 3 emails a day, right?
You know what? Sometimes things go the way you expect them to go, and yeah. So I hope I don't even remember the names of the people who don't need to be there. But I'll tell you what, we have a book full of people who do want to be there, and they're doing just awesome. And I can't take a thing away from them to waste any time with the people who don't want to be there. So I will say that we have just so much great stuff, going on, and so many people who do want to be there. And it's been a distilling effect, because now that it's after Labor Day, it is 118 days, 118 days until D-Day, and people are feeling the pressure. And this is what's going to show us what all the participants are made out of. Dallas and I got plenty left on our plate too. Believe me, we've been working. We know we've got 118 days also. So we're all in this together. We've all got plenty we got to get done, and we're going to do it. And the people who can't, then so long.
There's nothing different between you guys. You're trying to finish the project, and John and I are losing sleep about making ends meet with little things, tying the loose ends up as they come up, right? And things go along. Right now, I still have yet to get the internet out there, right? But I have already made progress on it quite a bit. But
we
haven't installed it. So
we're very close, and we won't give any spoilers. We thought we would have it for tonight, not quite. Have the announcer slate all set up. And what we want to do is have our announcers on 2 weeks from today, hopefully. We should have had it tonight. We were real close. We just got to get all the details done so that we can, we like to get things done before we announce them so that we're never backing up. So we are working on that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And you won't want to miss that. That will be a really fun, lively update right there. Cabral said yes. What? To being invited to the event? Because if he did, he's got his front row seating.
Yeah, he has his own seating.
He said he would. Let me tell you, if he wants to come down here from Massachusetts and he wants to get in that tower and be an announcer, we'll give him some time and he can get on the mic and announce.
As a matter of fact, he said he was a professional singer. I just want to see him sing the national anthem. That's all I need to see.
I would go for that. I got a great joke. I won't say it. DRC, you're not missing anything. Yeah, Austin will pay for. Yeah, I bet you will. Austin will pay for the flight first class. I know. Was Zonda too big? You know what? When I see that name, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a Mazda like 2600 pickup. That's what that name reminds me of every time I see it. And there is Junk Car Willie. Let me tell you, Junk Car Willie is a warrior. He has been trying to get his registration to go through for weeks. And this morning, he had success. And I have it in hand. And I added it to the book about 30 minutes ago. So Junk Car Willie never gives up.
Well, Torque Racing Production here says, I haven't received the second email containing the entry ticket yet.
Yeah, if you went to the site, you bought a ticket, you should have got just something that acknowledged your purchase. But if you want, just email me later and I'll make sure it jives with what's in the book. We're going to take care of you. We'll make sure everything's square. No problem. Well, I tell you what, I respect our anthem, and nobody there better kneel for it. That's all I got to say. You want to do that, go to an NFL game, not the track. Captain Dew is asking, Anybody made any alternated fuel to be? So in other words, like people on peanut oil or something?
I'm assuming he's meaning like methanol or ethanol.
Could be. Ed's machine. Hello, everybody. Well, hello, Ed. I'm going to attempt to, if we can work it out technologically, have Ed on a live. So on the 10th will be Jason from Country Boy Gas Garage, the guy that pulled the 48 Ford bus out of the woods. We're going to have him on June 10th. And then we'll have Dallas back on June 17th. Hopefully have a big one with our announcer slate. That's what we're hoping for if we get everything to where the schedules work out to do it. And then the following Friday, hopefully, will be Ed from Ed's Machine. And we will talk about all kinds of cool things machine work. If you haven't seen Ed's channel, it's really neat. You get to see some of the how it's done stuff with machining, balancing, that kind of thing. Ed has a video up on straightening a camshaft. If you haven't seen that before, check that out. That's a neat video. So that's the kind of stuff we can talk about when we have Ed on. Doom Upwards asking, do we need to purchase spectator tickets in advance? You can purchase them at the gate, but you're going to get a discount getting them in advance. They're $15 in advance on the website, $20 at the gate.
And he's also asking about some kind of event schedule. We're still working the whole thing out right now. We just know Friday, the basic things that we have ironed out. Okay, Friday is going to be your bracket race and the burnout competition. The bracket race may end up expanding into, we may just have a bracket specifically for the newbies that have never done it. And then after following the newbie race into a regular race where they could jump in with everyone else, where they've had their, trial runs and figure things out. Because there's one thing that's different about the No Name Nationals that no one else actually can claim. There, in a normal drag racing event, when you have a drag racing event, 75% to, let's say, just shy of 100% of the participants have raced before. In the No Name Nationals, if you haven't noticed, that number is like the opposite. It's like literally like 20% have raced and 80% are actually new participants. And that's where, you're making a difference. And that's what, I think you guys, it isn't just, John and I are doing this for the health of ourselves or the AHRA or whatever. We're doing this for you. We're trying to expand the community. And this is an easy avenue to do it with YouTube that I don't think anyone was taking advantage of, right? They were just looking at the people and, and move on. This is the future of hot rodding.
I got to say, it's been a wonderful crowd to work with. The proportion of good to work with has been over the top outstanding with this group. So one thing that is for sure that we just got to tell people. So most of the crowd here has never been on a track. Okay. And this event, of course, is a first of its kind. And there's lots of things that we can't set in stone ahead of time because we have to see what you guys are all going to be bringing and what you guys are all doing. Like, for instance, I had to see proportionately how many people wanted to register to race versus how many people wanted to register to show. I had no idea what the proportions would look like, but guess what? Within a few weeks, we saw it. And so we'll cater things to what the people want to do. If more people show up with slicks or if more people show up with street tires, that makes a difference in like how we're going to do run orders and how we'll arrange the cars. So these things all matter. So we're kind of watching as things shape up, who's registering, what kind of cars they're bringing, because that's going to affect how we do our daily itinerary for sure.
Right. And normally, if you've done one of these before, if we were just to have some kind of mundane event that, let's say that was just a cut and paste from other stuff, right? You'd already have an idea of how this is going to work out. But since this is the first of its kind, it has a lot of idiosyncrasies involved with just trying to figure out what the whole process is and how things are going to work. And we still want to put on the best event for you guys, but yet still have some type of something that resembles a standard organized event, right? So we're trying to work with both peoples at the same time.
There's a lot of don't get us wrong, just because it's a new event and just because it's ever evolving how we're going to have to manage everything on the day of the event doesn't mean that we don't have. I mean, our track is first rate. We're going to have, first rate signage. We're going to treat you guys right. It's well run, well organized, all of that stuff at the track. The track staff, probably have more staff working at Jeffers for this event than ever work there for any other event all year. And we're going to treat it right. But as far as figuring out the specifics, we just can't quite do it until the day. Okay, Dude Mopar is asking about Dallas's favorite invention of the 20th century.
I love them. Yeah.
Why not? It's just an all-run bracket.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you got a delay box or not. I mean, it really doesn't matter. That's not the whole point of the No Name Nationals at all. If you feel comfortable with running a box or if you feel uncomfortable with running without the box, it's up to you. The big prize, the big takeaway from this thing is probably going to be a lot of just bragging rights and a few trophies, right? Like we already listed off all the trophies, two shows ago, I think. And that's really what we're looking at. This thing we're not expecting it to be a big like money payout, big bracket race money payout, like you're racing for $1 million. We're just trying to get the entry level automotive enthusiast at the track to show them entry level, have fun stuff within the community, right?
Hey, by the way, Colleen has a question here.
What's that?
So not a question, but she says at Sick Week they prepped one lane for radials, one for slicks. We can't do that here because let's say that we have two guys calling each other out and they're both on slicks. I mean, we can't do that. We're going to prep the track, but we're going to probably have different staging lanes so we can get a run order in. That's probably the best way to do it for this event.
Well, in Sick Week, I don't know if the cars were technically racing each other. If you prep one side different than you do the other side, that lane, one of the lanes is always going to be different than the other one. Always, right? So if you're bracket racing and you've been in the left lane all day and you get by the chance of just run order, and you get stuck in the right lane, the car is going to run completely different than it would in the left.
Turbo's Garage, what's a delay box? Why don't you, that's actually a good point. Why don't you explain a delay box? There's probably a lot of people here that just never
delay box. Okay. Well, all right. So it's essentially just a computer that automatically has timing and rollout in the actually set in the box. So that what happens is if you're running a delay box, you're called a top bulb racer. What happens is you let go of the button for the delay box when the top bulb comes on, essentially. You'll see them jerk their hand away, right? And then the computer calculates all the timing between the lights, the rollout of the car, the reaction, the whole 9 yards, and gets the car to leave consistently and as close as possible to a perfect light, right? And now you're always going to have the error of when you let off the button built in there. But the delay box makes a good racer better, right? And it makes a terrible racer good. If you're a great racer, there is not really much of an improvement that a box can do for you.
Yeah, Lunar Outlaw Garage is he's telling you right now why you need to try to get your cars done in less than 118 days. Because, his car's together running, he goes to track, finds out his tires don't hook up. Isn't he glad he found that out now instead of September 30th, right? So try to get your stuff together and ahead enough of time for good testing. And see, so now Lunar has time to order the right tires to hook up and all that kind of stuff. Wouldn't have had that if he had gotten his car done at the last minute.
Yeah, and so what John was saying, my favorite invention of the 20th century, right? So I've created the AHRA around trying to get the person with the actual driving skill and you lose the box, right? That's what racing a car is all about, is driver skill, not how good of electronics you got, right? So if you're racing, let's say you're delay box racing and you're part of the AHRA and you win the box class, we pay a little bit of money on top to win. Now, if you are a foot brake racer, which is someone who races without a box, and you race in that box class, you have to beat all those boxes. You have to beat all the electronics. that's where we pay you more. We actually double that payout that we would have paid the box guy to win that class. So you're in the box class, is dominated by a bunch of box racers. And the whole idea was, if you know who John Henry is, the John Henry was the steel driving man. He literally fought the machine. He pitted himself against the machine that was designed to replace him, to prove he was better than the machine. And that's the whole idea behind AHRA performance-based payout.
Andrew Nelson, see, I'm telling you, these guys are telling you right. Don't wait.
Yeah.
He's still waiting on a set of tires he ordered in March. So, yeah. Danny Boy loves that it pays that way. You know what? We tell you guys the AHRA is the sanctioning body for the rest of us, and we mean it.
Yeah, the regular racer.
Go John Henry. Indeed, I'd be pulling for a guy racing a machine.
I'm telling you, if we would have all been standing there when that story, like broke, when it was true, that would have been a spectacle to watch, to be honest with you.
People turned out for that.
Yeah.
Well, I need a helmet in my lightning fast 72 318 van. Yeah, Hoosier's van probably runs, I don't know, 1020s in the quarter.
So
something like that.
The rule of thumb is if it goes down the track, the basic things you're going to need is just a helmet. You're going to need a seatbelt. And you want to have long pants in case you do crash and the thing catches on fire. You're not burning with it, right? But you literally, as soon as you get out of the car or the van in this case, take the pants and the helmet off, and hopefully your seatbelt, and that's it. Now, if you start getting blisteringly fast numbers, you're going to need. And the guys that's running those blisteringly fast numbers already know the stuff that they need. But you're looking at fire jackets and gloves and neck braces and stuff like that that's added on there. But for your basic simple stuff, you're going to need just a basic helmet. You're going to need a seatbelt, and you're going to need a pair of pants. Exactly. All hot rods allowed.
Daddy's Money Garage is asking, can I run a $40 Chinese scooter that's 50% bolted together, because we have that?
That's exactly what the monkey bike class was all about.
Yeah. Dust Devil Garage is asking, can I wear my Crocs when I race?
Well, plastic shoes do not do well in a fire, but technically it's a shoe, so you probably can. If it was me, I enjoy my feet. They actually work well when I try to walk. And well, no, they don't work well, but they do help out when I walk. I would probably take care of my feet a little bit better.
Speaking of helmets, this is an important question. Does it say in the AHRA rulebook that a helmet is required for a quarter mile of $13.99 or quicker, or it's $8.90 or something?
For a helmet?
For a helmet. I know the NHRA has a break on the helmet.
No.
So just tell them right now. Either you can come back and look, or you tell them right now that a helmet is required for everything, regardless of ET.
You are going to need a helmet. I mean, that's just basic. I think every track I've ever ran at. Now, some of my stuff is different on ET brakes and stuff like that, and there's a reason for it, right? I looked at when I started creating the rules for the AHRA, I looked at the NHRA and the IHRA, of course. Why? Because they're the only other ones in town that had some kind of framework set up. But here's the thing. I kind of disagree with a lot of it, because it looked like they were kind of jumping the shark when it came to when you had to have a roll cage, right? And the reason for why I say that is, you know how easy it is to go like 1150s these days? It is so super easy. You could literally build a good motor at home. The heads are so great now that you go out and buy just your basic entry level set of cylinder heads, and you're almost in the 11s. And the problem that I foresaw with it was, think about the person that goes to the track one time a year just to have fun, just to enjoy what they're doing. They don't do it for a living. It's more or less just a playful hobby. And you're going to tell this guy that at $11.99, you got to have a roll bar in that car. Well, guess what? You just lost somebody that would race there, because they're going to spend 90% of their time at the car show, right? Or the cruise-ins, or the hangouts. your Bob's Big Boy stuff. And they're done racing at that point. And there's no reason to kick that guy to the curb or that gal to the curb because it's so easy to run that number these days.
All right, Mopar people, Just Mopar Joe's in the house. And if you're not subscribed to Just Mopar Joe, hot tip, he's got a fun video coming up you're not going to want to miss. Can't tell you anything about it. You just don't want to miss it. Shopcat is here. So it goes by pretty quick. I see more people telling me he was here than actually seeing him. Fellow Aussie here. Aaron. Yeah, Buck's got a good point. Helmets for your own safety. I'd rather have a helmet and not need it. Agreed. I agree with that. Joe is saying it's the ultimate Mopar collaboration for the NNN. So check out Joe's channel. If you don't have your notifications turned on, you should. It'll be a fun video.
I'll give you a simple, for instance, like Buck does it, and he says here, about I'd rather have a helmet and not need it than need it and not have one.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in a bracket race, let's just say you show up in your 17-second van, right? You're in a bracket race, so you're literally racing the other car in the lane no matter what it is. And let's say it's NSB's crazy record-setting, Linko Dart, right? And this thing gets out of control at 3/4 track and it's running 140 miles an hour and hits you in the back, right? That's the whole point of it. Oh, Zero's taking off, huh?
Zero needs to split. Thanks for stopping by. Danny Boyd likes the Dale Earnhardt look. I personally am a fan of the closed-faced helmet.
I'm the opposite. I'm like Danny Boyd. I like the open-face helmet. I wish there was an easy way to bring it back.
My jaw not ending up in my brain. Yes, Austin. We know. You if you shook his hand, will you ever wash it? That's cool though. I'm glad that worked out. How does court date go? What was the final disposition on that? SRP says just wear your safety equipment. Absolutely. Here's a good. Let me tell you, these aren't silly questions. This is real. Dallas, bicycle helmet okay? Question mark.
Oh, no. No, you're going to need something that's literally roadworthy. So just a basic motorcycle helmet. And then a lot of it depends on how fast the car is going. But a basic motorcycle helmet just about covers just about every rule, right? There's actually certain points at where no longer is that motorcycle helmet going to cut it. You're going to need a Snell-rated helmet. But for anything that's pretty much drivable that you're going to drive there, and especially your Riviera, if you're bringing your Riviera junkyard wheelie or junk car wheelie, this is William Erb, right? So if he's bringing his Riviera, a motorcycle helmet's going to suffice.
So Track and Travel with Rick, by the way, is the elder member of the JRA racing team. And they have that green Duster that is now running 1191 in the quarter and getting some daylight under that left front wheel. And he wants to put a bunch more gear in it before Sykeston. So he's going to be close to flirting with the cage.
No, and the NHRA is not. And this is where I was telling you that the rule's a little bit different. I flexed on this. To be honest with you, okay, so it's 10 flat. Anything faster than 10 flat, and you're looking at roll cages, right? Now, we're not looking at, do you have a roll bar bolted in there? That's irrelevant. I did this on purpose. And, I've caught a lot of flack for it. So it's unsafe. Well, technically, if you look at it, I mean, not really, because a majority of your cars won't really need a cage until they're actually running 10 flat. But in reality, that's we don't have any mandated rules for a roll cage until 10 flat, $9.99. So, and then that's because, like I said, it's easy to build horsepower these days, right? But there's a lot of people that are not willing to hack their car up to put a roll cage in it because it's not generally some basic mod. That's to the point where you start adding race car parts and eliminating or minimizing street capability.
Hey, Henry, good luck making that rescue call. We understand. Oh man, now you people are asking the crazy questions. Bike helmets, a hard hat. What is your head worth? I probably don't want to ask that question either.
Just wrap your head in gauze like the old 70s style movies where someone gets a head injury.
Lunar thinks that you can't do it. You can't do a burnout if you don't have a line lock.
No, you can do a burnout. He's got a Buick. You don't even need it. They came factory with burnouts. Right?
No. I don't know why he thinks the line lock is like the way, but it is not. Yes.
If you have a stick car, a line lock is very important.
Okay, so what is the AHRA rule for the eighth?
Eighth mile is 650.
650. So it's 650 and 10 flat.
Yeah.
I like to give Lunar a hard time about that line lock thing. My race car had 2 line locks on it when I got it. One on the front brakes and one on the back brakes. How weird is that?
Yeah, DRC Racing Garage is asking 10 flat before a cage. Is that AHRA? Yes, that's what essentially it says in the rule book.
Well, but see, you got to realize these new Challengers that have these 707 horsepower Hemis, what are they running off the showroom floor?
They're faster than that. They're faster than
that's what I'm saying. The Demon runs in the 9s right from the factory. The new Demons.
Right.
Yeah. Joe, so I had a video on the rules somewhere. Joe does have a good video up on the rules.
Matter of fact, I believe someone did put a video together that may have been Joe or not. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Of course, it was just Mopar Joe put that together.
So Danny Boyd says, why on the back brakes? So it's not really relevant to this conversation, but you can do a line lock different ways. You can either do it to hold your brake pressure, then let the line lock hold your brake pressure in, or you can use a line lock to hold your brake pressure out. I've seen people put them on the back so they can hit the line lock, then they can hit the brake pedal, and it'll only hold the front so they can roast the rear tires. I have seen it done that way. And for people who just like to mess around and roast tires and play, they do that stuff, but serious people put them on the front, in my opinion.
Daddy's Money Garage wants to know if they can wrap their head in straw and duct tape it to save weight.
You might get it in the helmet, but it's not going to save any weight.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a bunch of rebels in the comments today, making for a fun conversation.
Yeah, well, Lunar is saying that Supra is a stick car. That's why he's asking about the line lock. And I agree. If you run a stick car, line lock is pretty much your friend. That's how you do a burnout stick car. But you can easily let them eat without having a line lock in there.
You don't need that to do burnouts and stuff on the street by any means. Colleen Tebow says the new Demon has additional safety features. The new Demon weighs just a bunch, and the metal's really thin. And when you see cars like that wrecked, they are usually ripped to pieces. They clean up the driver in pieces. So, yeah, it has airbags and all that, but look at the weight of them and how thin the steel is.
I was just looking at it like this. What's the majority of the cars you see at the drag strip? Most of them aren't stuff from like 2002 and newer. Most of them are not, right? And most of them are older cars that are semi-collectible or way collectible. There's some race cars out there that are really one-off pieces still that are worth piles of money. And hacking one up to put a roll cage in it just so you go to the track once a year or twice a year would necessitate me having to throw you out, or we just lower that ET down. Look at it like this. Pro Stock, in the early few years of Pro Stock, which was actually called Heads Up Super Stock by the AHRA, they were running about 10 flat. And that's where they started putting cages in them, right? The reason why I did that was I didn't feel it was necessary for the grandpa that had the nice Cutlass. If you wanted to go to the track once in a while, didn't have to put a roll cage in there because you just buy a decent set of heads and the thing's running the number.
Boy, Andy is just wanting to turn the earth there. He says he's got his nitrous tied into his trans brakes, so they're released together. Your U-joints do not like
all of it.
Yeah. How much ET does Andy want? Big Richard's World in the house. Good to see you, man. Big Richard's World, looking for more content. You got some exciting stuff, man.
Well, I tell you, and Andy's never asked me, but when I did the AHRA Drag Racing History Channel videos, and I did the one with Animal Jim, when we were just talking on the sideline before we even started, I wish I would have been recording the whole thing, because Animal Jim was talking about, he said, I've had cars with nitrous before, but that Cleveland loves nitrous. He's like, there's nothing to explain it. Like, there's nothing to compare it to that he's ever had. The Cleveland loves nitrous.
We got some people talking about nitrous here. And what I'll say is if you're going to need nitrous refills to track, let us know. We can arrange it, but we'd love to have an idea how much people might want.
I've already got it somewhat. I already have a guy set up that's coming to the track that's got a nitrous filling station. I just need to get an idea of how many bottles we're going to need. So I just need to know how many people we're going to be doing nitrous refills at the track. If that's going to be your bread and butter and you're wanting to hit it with, I don't care, 12,000 shot of nitrous. If you need to refill the bottle every pass, let me know, because we got to have somebody out there with extra bottles.
Okay. And we saw a perfectly timed question. If I can find it. Yes. Do you guys have plans to show videos showing the track and laid out? Yeah, check this out. I'm going to try to, I may completely mess this up, but I'm going to try it. Okay. Bear with me.
Well, you want me to pull it up, John? I can do this. All right.
Can you do it on your screen?
I'm pretty sure I can.
Okay, because I can. I got it here. I was going to give it a whirl. I got it on my desktop.
All right. So let me see what I got here. Let me find it.
If you can, I'll do it.
Well, I just need to find it.
So Daddy's Money Garage running 150 shot on the jet, and you're going to bring it home in a bag, it looks like. Too much nitrogen will fry up the piston rings. Too much nitrous can do more than that.
Where did I put that sucker?
Andy's just taking no prisoners at all. Yeah, oil downs, I'm sure. See, that's another thing, too. How do you try to figure out the flow and cadence of an event when we have so much unknowns in how much of this stuff might break or oil down or broken parts? Again, we got to be careful on our scheduling until we think we might have a handle on that. Colleen Tebow,
do you have that file somewhere close? I'm scrolling through here and I don't see it.
Please repost that comment again if you can. They go pretty quick over here. They jump a lot. Let's see. William Sanders has got some confidence in Andy. Big Richard's World is almost done. Well, I like it. The progress is, there's some exciting stuff coming in the month of June, both on our end and all the participants, it sounds like. Too much nitrous will cause fits of laughter. Yes, if it's somebody else's pistons, it's melting. You know what? That is a wonderful idea, Daddy's Money Garage. I like that. You use it in the shop over there? That's not a bad idea.
Hey, John, do you have that file that you can pull it up?
I'm going to try. Okay, I'm going to give it a try.
I cannot find it.
You tell me if it's working right, because I should have sound. Okay, tell me if this works. I don't know if this will work or not. We'll try it. Oh, no, that's not going to work. That happens every time. It goes to that. Okay, hang on a minute. Yes. Okay. Tell me if this is working. Can you all see that on the screen?
I don't see anything yet.
No map on the screen?
No.
Ah, bummer. Okay.
Where is that dang thing? Oh, here it is. I found it. We're trying to do the Jeffers shot, right? The overhead shot?
Yep, if you can.
Okay.
And if not, I can just put it up to the screen, but it's much harder to do. At least it's harder to see. So here's the overhead. You gonna try to put it on the screen, Dallas?
Yeah, I found the original file and it's in a weird format. I was trying to find the one I sent you, which was the PDF.
You want me to send it to you now?
You have you know what? It's probably my email sent items. Here, give me just a second. I got it.
What we're going to try to do is get this up on the screen and enlarge it. Dallas actually took an aerial and we put measurements on it and got some close-ups. This will be pretty cool if we can get this blown up for you. Colleen says, anything, I remind myself that I don't have a classic car. Anything older than 45 is an antique. Okay. And an antique in this state would be 1992. An antique in this state was made when I was a sophomore in high school. How's that? Family's Garage is here. Good to see you guys. From the looks of that burnout photo, you got your engine back together. Yeah, Ari says, I'm an antique in that state. Yes, you would be.
How about this?
Oh, let's see if we can do that. That's not bad. That's a different way of doing it. Yeah, check this out. That's a good way of doing it. That's pretty slick, Dallas. Let's try this. Hold on. That was smart. All right. Ha ha. How you like that?
Now we're looking all professional and stuff.
Yeah. It'd be nice to zoom if I can. Okay, but I can do it with the pointers here. So hold on a minute. So here's an overhead of the track, okay? And this is your strip right here, okay?
Oh, I can't see where whatever you're moving there is not working.
Yeah, so your strip is, I was going to say, I can't move it that way. I could do it on share screen, but not this way. You can see the strip. I'd like to enlarge it if I could. Okay, you see the pavement to the right. That's going to be all your paved pits right there. Okay, so if you're standing at the burnout box, it's going to be on your left-hand side. All of the trees are like sound deadener. So Jeffers mows all the way out to it. All that grass you see is completely flat and manicured. So you have nice pits both on the parking and both on the grass and the pavement. The drag strip, of course, is 8th mile. You see that all dark. It's well prepped. Then you've got the shutdown. And you see the smaller screen down directly below at the bottom. We measured those out. You've got spaces, single spaces that are 100 feet long. So if you've got a toter or any kind of big rig, 2-car trailer, whatever, we've got great places to park everybody. The layout is really optimal. Layout's optimal. But one thing I think is really exciting, I don't know if I can make this large enough to see, but you guys can see it on your screen. If you see the little square that's on the left side, the smallest square, so you see the big square with the whole track, you see a close-up of the pit area, and then you see that small square, okay? So that's the very top of the shutdown. And it's 94 feet by 100 and, what is that, 156 by 94. That's where we want to do the burnout contest and give you guys all of that real estate to work with.
Including the grass.
Well, I was going to say, there's grass there. We're not going to tell you what to do with it. We're not going to tell you what you can or can't do with it. You guys will just have to surprise us with your ingenuity. But there's grass in the middle of it. And I've never seen that before for a burnout contest. So there's the first time for everything. Let's have some fun. But there's also lots and lots of pavement. Don't worry. We're not going to have any problem putting on whatever smoke show you want. It's just a different kind of setup. Now, there is sand there. We don't want you getting in Sykeston Beach there. You've got sand just ahead of that. So that was, I don't know, that was just really interesting. That whole recon. Also, if you see the map, so on the upper side above the strip, all that grass there, that's your spectator entrance and your parking. Okay. And there's a giant billboard on that we're going to have rolling. The building you see that's on the upper side, which will be on the right side if you're facing down the track, that's a church. So that's where the church property begins. But it looks like we've got lots of room, to host a lot of cars and put on a good event there. So we'll have on-site parking. If parking becomes a problem, if we kind of get too packed up or run out of parking, we've got 2 extra sites where we may be able to wrangle some parking. So there's that.
Now, Lunar's asking, where are they going to do the car show? Right now, there's only maybe 3 people registered for the car show. So what's that?
Well, the thing about the car show is most people want to race. You can still show. What we'll do is we'll just give you a space in there where you have less traffic running around you going to the staging lanes and your turn road, so that you can just have a place to hang out and show. You can do that. Your participant registration fee lets you do whatever you want to do. You can show, you can race, you can bracket, you can burnout contest, you can do exhibition runs. It's whatever you want to do. Because there's some people that want to bring a car and they just don't have any interest in racing, and that's fine. So your fee lets you do whatever. But the guys who don't have any interest in racing, it's going to make more sense to put them in an area where there's fewer cars running around them. Like right off the top of my head, the best show area might be the grass area by the 660 saloon. That might be a good area to pit people who don't want to.
That's actually where Tech is going to be at. But
Turtle's Garage.
Turtle's Garage is asking, do I need to register for the car show too? Well, no. When John and I first put this together, we came up with the basic framework on it, and we didn't know where anybody was going to fall at. So they all kind of just jumped in wherever. Well, we noticed it's very heavy on the call out, very heavy on the exhibition stuff, and which is fine. So, but there's only literally 3 people that registered for the car show.
There's probably more than that now, but the thing is the pits is going to be the car show.
Exactly. And so what we ended up doing was we kind of had the idea that since they paid the same entry fee to run whatever, right? You want to be in the car show or the drag race or the monkey bike, it's all the same fee. You should be considered for all of it, right? So you have the possibility to go in there and run the brackets and then not the burnout contest.
Exactly.
Right. But that meant that everybody was eligible for the car show. So they can be judged for the car show, regardless of your stuff being registered for the car show or in the car show. Your stuff is in the car show if you don't know it.
Yeah, we just figured that's the best way to do this because the whole thing is a car show. So that's what makes more sense.
Andy Nelson, any chance a tech person can walk through the pits to expedite the process? Well, no, not every car is there to do. You got one tech guy, right? That's going to actually slow the whole process down. It's easier for you just take it to the tech guy, get your thumbs up, and you're going to be good to go.
We'll have to work on the flow of that a little bit because that's a little bit down the line, but we'll work out whatever makes the most sense there. I know what you're saying.
You're going to have plenty of time, plenty of time.
We'll
Literally,
be good.
the first day, John and I talked about, okay, the first day, the first few hours is essentially just going to be meet and greet, right? And people are just going to be walking around meeting each other because some of you have never met the other person or somebody that you're there to see. You've never seen them face to face.
Well, remember too, there's a lot of people who will be traveling Friday morning.
Right.
So Friday, logistically, we'll have to probably get the track hot just a little bit later. Saturday morning, we'll get the track hot really early, if that makes sense. So there's that. Well, I'll tell you, Friday's going to be a fun day, and the burnout contest is what we hope to just end the day with. And then the party in the pits begins. And hopefully everybody will still be in shape to participate Saturday morning.
Yeah, don't get so tore up that you can't work you can't do your show the next day.
Now, Thursday, people arriving on Thursday, this is important. If you show up on Thursday, remember, we're going to have the gates open at noon for the long haulers, but Thursday is a work day. We have a ton of work to do. So we got to do things like signage. We got to do things like making sure all the little stuff is ready. Things like restroom ready. The track needs to be prepped. All of this stuff. We got to make sure all the details are done. So Dallas and I will be thrashing all day Thursday. We got some guys who are local there who volunteered to help, and that would be great.
I was sharing this whole time that screenshot.
It wasn't on the screen.
Oh,
you can see it. SRP says I need studs. You know what else SRP needs? To be registered. Andrew Nelson says we run a lot of tracks, a bunch of 8th mile, and they send the tech guys out in the pits. We'll figure out. I mean, we got to look at the best logistical way to do it, but we're getting there. We're working our way through. Bad Tree says he's not cleaning toilets. Ha ha! Sounds like Blake just volunteered. Oh, goodness.
Oh, well, Bear Rose says that when he rolls in on Thursday, he'll be more than happy to lend a hand.
Yeah, right. And a lot of guys are going to be glad to do that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Uh-oh. Andy says I'm going to do the bracket race. So when is my one and done with Tony going to take place? Well,
that's Saturday.
Tony will probably want to be there on Saturday to do that.
Oh, and speaking of that, Andy, did you see my video I did on the Switch Pitch ST400? If you're still looking for a Turbo 400, that might be something that you might want to consider.
Most of the old parts and Russ says I'll be there on Thursday, but I'm with Blake. No toilets. Let me tell you, when they were renovating Elk Creek, which is a track that's near here, it hadn't been renovated like since the 70s, and we went in there and had to do bathrooms and stuff. It was not pretty. Hey, SRP, it's not about the money, man. The money goes in the No Name Nationals bank account, and it goes toward paying all the bills for this and all that good stuff. But we want to see you. We want to see you get registered.
Well,
it's like a little measure of putting skin in the game.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I mean, or think about it like this. Would you go mow your neighbor's yard without the idea that they're going to pay you?
No, it's all good. It's all good. I know a lot. See, there's a lot of these guys who I know are going to register. I know they'll be here. It's just a matter of, they haven't registered yet. I mean, there's a lot of channels we all know very well who will be there, tagging videos, extremely supportive. They just haven't registered yet. That's one reason why I don't like to give numbers, because people are like, oh, you didn't count them? They're not coming now? No, we don't want to do that. So, yeah, that. But, Dallas, I hear the doorbell. There's invaders at the door.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. It's Cousin Cletus and 113 Cycles.
Yes, it is.
By. How are y'all doing?
What's happening, guys?
Not much. How you guys doing?
How are y'all? So, I try to, every time it's possible, to get the No Name 500 guys on as they hit 500, I try to do it. So we've been planning this for a long time because they were out of town. And so 113 hit 500 yesterday. So we still, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We still want to have you on. And, of course, he's got his bodyguard, Cletus.
That's right.
Cletus is like the talent manager for 113, Dudes with Wrenches, Wasted Talent Fabrications, Mongrel's Garage. He's the agent of all those guys. Did you know that? Yep. Like, he gets a cut of all their YouTube prosperity.
That's right.
See, he's got the sunglasses on. He is ready to regulate people who do not recognize.
He's got the grill going and everything right now.
Hey, speaking of that, check this out. I put this up here. Because of the layout, I didn't wear it because I wanted people to be able to see it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
So I get this package in the mail. And it's addressed to, if I can show this. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's addressed to, quote, John the Man Wilburn. So I didn't know why, but the FedEx guy, we could see him outside, and he's looking at the package, and he walks it up to the door, and then he takes a picture of my front door. Because on my front door, there's a sign that says there's nothing here worth your life. So the FedEx guy sees this name on the package and sees that front door, and he had a great story at dinner time he was telling, like, I don't know who this character is. But anyway, I'll take a kick out of it. But I opened the package and check this out. This is what was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Does that say LSB swap?
Yes. And we have on there
Got everybody
all
listening.
these channels who made it possible.
Oh, sweet.
Check that out.
Oh yeah, all good guys, all good channels.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and is that a quick brick Volvo?
I'm rolling this like the Star Wars.
It's a 96 Volvo Wagon 960
with a 6.0 LS engine.
Quick brick.
Isn't that sweet?
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
quick.
Swedish
I like
speed.
that. Thanks a bunch, man. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, man. Well, we not that we exactly built it for No Name Nationals, but we kind of did.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm gonna enjoy wearing that shirt. I wear that shirt, and the purists will look at it and say, "What is that?" I know that's coming. It's kind of the idea.
Well, that was there's actually a trophy dedicated to that, the Purist Cringe Trophy, right? Like,
right.
Award.
That's the whole idea. But you guys get it. And Dallas and I were talking about how amazingly polarized the public is on understanding this event. It's like people either totally get it or they don't get it at all. It's like there's no middle ground.
Well, I was handing out flyers. Excuse me. I've been handing out flyers, and when I'm at the car shows and stuff, and I handed it to some people, and they're like, "Well, I don't like drag racing." And I said, "Well, there's going to be car shows, there's going to be burnout competitions, there's just going to be YouTubers hanging out for meet and greets. I mean, just come out and have a good time. You don't have to watch the drag racing if you don't want to."
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people just don't. It just doesn't. They don't get it at all. And then some people, the minute they see it, they love it and they're in. It's strange how that works, but we're seeing that a lot.
Well, it was funny because John and I met with like prospective sponsors at the very beginning, and they're like, "Why would you do that?" Right? And they're like, "Why not?" And then you got the opposite, which was like Buzz was like, "This is excellent." You know,
it's funny because all the prospective sponsors came to us, but none of them had seen an event like this before. Because
I don't think I've seen an event like this.
Different.
Yeah.
It's so different.
I went to, was it last weekend or the weekend before?
Weekend.
Last weekend, I went to a YouTuber car show, and that was the first time I've been to one of them, and it was pretty good. But No Name Nationals is going to have that, and drag racing, and meet and greet, and the bike racing, and burnouts.
And pit party, and you name
and it's going to be more than 4 hours or whatever that was. So
it's 2 days. It's 2 full days plus the Thursday before the party, and probably the Sunday. I just now got my hangover subsided to drive home Sunday.
Right. Well, that's I want it to be. I want it to be just.
I'll make sure you get an autograph, buddy.
Well, that was the whole plan. The 2 days deal was like it was just long enough to where you're like, okay, I wish you'd get back on the other side of the screen. I've had enough, right? Like, I don't want to see you again for another year.
Okay, Turlo's asking where Cletus is pitting. I don't know yet, but I will say this. I'm going to try to organize the pits a little bit for sanity, and we want to organize the pits to put people on opposite ends who are loud and quiet or people who want to fight. We want to try to organize the pits for the best possible results. I'm not an assigned seating kind of guy. It's a free country, but I mean there are some people that don't want to pit next to each other.
I don't know. I plan to have like a compound set up with
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, you'll probably have the Cletus compound, the Dust Devil compound. You'll have some compounds there that are probably got canopies and grilling and everything else. So.
Absolutely.
Whoa, man, look at that. You see Turbo's
probably
garage?
where Tony's going to want to pit, tell you the truth.
Yeah, that's exactly where John and I said
probably.
You better bring something fast, Turlo. No, I'm just kidding, Turlo. The Volvo's real slow. Bring something slow. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not even as quick as a 4-cylinder.
That refrigerator better run on LP gas or something because electricity is going to be in short supply.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And the way gas prices are, I bet people aren't going to run that generator as much as they was going to.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, what are you going to do?
You should be
Well,
happy.
I mean, they're going to run what they have to, but they're not going to just run it like they usually
Right.
would.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is it's at the end of September, so you won't have to run that air conditioner to death.
Well,
Let's hope so.
I'm kind of fat, you know.
Don't tell Tony that. He'll do it. He'll pit in Arkansas and drive across.
You could.
Yeah, it's close.
No, Thumper, you're not bringing a hot tub. Nobody wants to see that.
No.
You bring a hot tub, I'll bring a thong. Let's do it.
No.
You won't be a
There's
sweaty
not
fat
enough
guy at that point. I'll be a sweaty wet guy.
Right. So 113. Now that we've gone off the rails completely.
Oh, I'm loving this.
Yeah. So you got your 500. What did you start with? I can't remember, but you've been plugging away at this a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the channel for a year and I don't know, 3 or 4 months, 5 months, something like that, give or take. But man, I don't know. I was in the 200s when it started with the No Name National stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool.
Of course, we had the Volvo that was, helped with that too, building it for the No Name Nationals and then really pushing for the 500 after the Volvo with it. So,
yeah.
I mean, I've jumped a ton. I mean, I've got almost 40 this month alone.
Yeah.
So it's just been amazing. I mean, it really has.
These people working together has been fantastic.
It has. Yep.
Well, this whole community seems to be coming together.
It does.
Not just a tight. I mean, it's all the automotive, motorcycle guys, Mopar guys. Everybody's coming together for No Name Nationals and supporting each other.
Yeah.
It would be really cool. That Volvo wagon is like, get a bike rack and put it on the top and put a couple of bicycles up there, like just like you were mom and pop coming from, Mount Rushmore.
Ready Muscle Cars Austin had that. He had a bicycle on top of his Duster.
That's right. Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I already talked about getting some of the old man, like New Balances or Nikes or whatever, and then like some old dad clothes,
Yeah.
They got to be grass stained New Balances, and they got to be the white and blue ones, man.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah.
Now, if you do that,
look here, guys.
You got to be snobby about the emblems and the correct bolt heads and crayon marks on your Volvo now.
Well, and I would surprise people, but as soon as I start pulling up, there's a crowd of people around it every time.
Right.
Because they're like, they hear it coming. I'm like,
it's not quiet.
Quieter exhaust on there. So
I like this Cletus with shades. It's like his Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He puts the shades on, and then we got big boss man Bubba Rogers Cletus there with his shades on. He's a different guy. I like it.
That's right.
Well, here's the cool thing. It's like 20 years ago, Paul Newman had a Volvo like that with a 5-liter Mustang and a 5-speed in it.
He actually had two. So his 240 had the 5-liter Mustang. His 960 had an LS in it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just like the one we have now.
Yep.
That's sweet.
So I was like, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we didn't find out till like a week before the build, I think, or something like that.
Well, he had that 240 had like hubcaps, like dog dish hubcaps that looked like plain Jane, and it had that 5-liter Mustang motor and a 5-speed, and I apparently he took it for a couple of laps out in what's that Laguna Seca, right? That wagon, and everybody was impressed. Like, holy crap, that thing handles.
Yeah, no stuffed kid. Let me tell you, I expect to see. Stuffed kids that people put the little wearing the pants and the hat, and it's like a pillow made to look like a little kid leaning on the bumper. That ridiculous car show thing. Yeah. I expect to not see that at No Name Nationals.
Yeah,
somebody will take it and make a pinata out of it if you do. Probably.
I'll video that.
Yeah. Look at this. Turbo is saying the weird hour always starts as soon as Cousin Cletus says, "Oh no, I got something in store for you on the weird hour coming up here in a few minutes."
Well,
I got some weird hour action in store for you, believe it or not.
Speaking of pinatas, we need to make a Turlo's Garage pinata.
Ooh.
That's not a bad idea. But don't ask me about pinatas because I know exactly what I'd put on them this week.
Well, I'll make a Turlo's Garage pinata.
That's okay. We could just use our imaginations on that.
Yeah, I wonder what he could be thinking about.
No, I'm not.
Interesting.
No. Thumper's wanting to drag one of them. Now, come on, man. Don't do like the dog scene from National Lampoon's Vacation. Don't be doing that.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to bring my family, so I mean, please take it easy.
Yes.
Stolen jacket. I didn't even.
No, we'll tell you what. We're dead serious about this. No speeding in the pits.
Yeah.
No speeding in the pits, and no drinking during the racing activities, please. That's really, we're not asking for much. We just want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah.
That would be funny, though, Thumper. I got to admit. Yeah, Richard, I never understood those things either. So, 113, you built a new shop there. I'm assuming that's where y'all are sitting now. That looks like the new shop, the new headquarters.
Are you guys, you must be insulating it because I see some of that foam back there in the back.
Oh, it was spray foam?
I think spray foam.
Oh, the Poly Pro is the roll-up doors.
Oh,
I didn't have the money for the insulated roll-up doors at the time, so I honestly didn't think I would need them that much, but it really helps keep the noise out, and it really helps with the temperature too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I did the same thing on my garage. I got insulated doors on the inside, but it does. The AC runs about half as much as what it did. You know, when it gets hot here in Tennessee, I mean, it gets freaking hot, right?
Oh yeah,
and
you can't. We're familiar.
You can't work in there unless you got AC in the summertime. In the winter, it's not so bad. I can work in there when it's cold, but I usually put my heater in there. I'm a big wuss now.
Yeah.
But
I have a mini split, and it did great in the wintertime. With the insulation in here, I don't think it ever dropped below about 60 degrees.
Oh, that's sweet.
And where are you located to let them know?
We're in Conway, Arkansas.
Right. So that's not
a
test like, say, New Hampshire would be, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
No. We had a couple snowstorms this year.
Yeah.
But we don't get down below zero at all. We're not, usually around freezing, a little bit low.
When it snows at all, the school, everything shuts down.
Hey, we got a couple good Dallas questions here. So, what is the pit speed at Jeffers?
I believe it's 15.
Yes. And what is the pit etiquette to be shared for sure? We'll talk more about that as the time approaches, but we do want people to know, ways to stay out of each other's way on the track and stuff like that. Like, for instance, not just pit etiquette, but like when two cars go down the track, how are they supposed to turn off together to come down the return road and this kind of thing?
You could make a video series about it, some little short videos, just kind of, hey, when you get here.
Yeah.
You got to really watch, too, in the pits when you're driving around. Those cars are so loud. The things you're used to being able to hear before you see, like if you're driving around in traffic, you will not. So you got to really keep your head on a swivel looking. And remember, too, a lot of race cars don't have any mirrors of any kind.
Right.
So and a lot of them have a lot of blind spots. So when you're a pedestrian in the pits, you got to really watch around those cars. Because if you're coming from the passenger side and you're crossing the road, the guy with the big Pro Stock mailbox hood scoop, he will not see you.
Right.
So there's some things we'll address closer to time about how to survive coexisting with people and cars at the track without having bad interactions.
Well, I grew up at the drags, like literally in the 70s, right? So there was, in the 70s was a completely different animal. You'd still have people, they'd do dry hops in the staging lanes, right? I mean, it was literally like gloves are off. And when I was a kid running around, my old man did watch me all the time, and he would just tell me, as you're walking around, imagine there's always a car around every corner, right?
Well, did they even have seatbelts in the 70s at drag strips?
Some
the 1970s. The 1970s.
At the drag strips were bad. I know
some of the cars probably didn't have them.
Yeah, the checking to see if your shoe came out or who you just ran over. We just want to make sure everybody stays safe. It's a real priority. I mean, a first-year event has enough challenges. We don't need anybody getting hurt.
Well, I'm sure somebody's taking the race serious, but really, for me, I think everybody's just coming to have a good time.
Yeah, we want to have a good time. We just want everybody to be safe.
Right. And the way John and I have been kind of explaining it from the get-go is this is not necessarily a drag race, or it's something that you might lump in that category. It's more like a trade show for YouTube automotive content creators, right?
It's a homecoming.
Yeah, homecoming, right? That's a good idea. A good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a homecoming for YouTube automotive content creators and who just happen to like cars and want to meet at a track.
And motorcycles.
We're
And
going to
more
have all kinds of fun. I imagine there'll be a lot of people pilfering food at each other's cookouts, and we're going to have a great time together.
Yeah, I don't think food is going to be on any kind of shortage, and I don't think alcohol is going to be on any kind of shortage, except for maybe at the store.
I'll
right?
tell you this: if you're one of them people who start to get mean when you're drinking, don't drink.
Yeah, really. These are all good things to bring up. Rabbit Transit also mentions, Jay says, especially people walking around recording and live streaming, there will be less situation awareness from the spectators and people walking around too. So I just think that we really want to make sure we would want to minimize accidents as much as we possibly can so we can all have a wonderful time.
Yeah. The big thing that you got to remember is this event probably will have more live recording than any other event you've ever been to in life.
Yeah. Well, it's going to have a lot of video in too, just not only lives, but video for later on.
Yeah.
The Wrench, thanks, man. We look forward to meeting you. We're just gonna be positive and say you'll be there. We'd love for you to be there.
Exactly. Yep.
Anybody who is reasonably sane most of the time, we would love for you to show up.
Next
We
time,
gotta give that disclaimer.
Yeah, and if you're going to be insane, just make it on a day like Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Like,
if you're gonna
Make
have
it the fun insane too. Don't make it the one nobody wants to be around.
yeah, somebody wants to find you and the kid crying on the bumper and drag you down the track.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
do I get a time slip for that?
Ruben wants to know who he already knows who he's voting on for homecoming king and queen.
Cool. Cousin Cletus, right?
Exactly. I'm hoping that's where it's going.
Oh man, Danny Boyce, see, that's why I can't be there. Hey,
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do, man. If it means putting on a suit of good behavior, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
You have to be sane to show up. You can be crazy enough to go 180 miles an hour in the 8th, and we'll still take you.
That's fast.
But if you think that you invented the event when you didn't, we will not.
Yeah, you invented
There are limits.
Isn't that what Austin Powers said? He's like, my father used to, Dr. Evil. He said, my father used to walk around claiming things like he invented the question mark. And
Yeah.
that's where you know you're real crazy. You went off the deep end.
We've seen a spectrum already.
Oh, yeah.
Duck does it. He says, how is cell service to track? I'll tell you this. I don't know how it's going to be with a bunch of people trying to use it at once.
Horrible.
Well, my service was good when I was there. I have
That's because it was me and you, John, and the power was fine.
Yeah, well, I know the service was
All of
okay.
these
We had a few
people trying to
cell
use
phone
that.
calls while we were there all day. It was fine. But when you get a bunch of people in there, it could be a problem. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't even text myself last weekend. So that's how bad it is. It's like literally a black hole of cell service when you get more than like 3 people at the place.
That's why I'm betting there won't be any live streaming going on because I'm betting there won't be any.
Well, no, I'm bringing in 2 T1 lines, right?
Oh, nice.
And then we're going to hook it up to a mesh network and cover as much of the track as possible.
Sweet.
So that way you guys can live stream. You could actually just record and upload. You can download wherever you wanted to do. This is a YouTube content creator, so we'd be dumb not to have internet there, right? So,
I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's great that you guys are doing that. That's yet another awesome thing you guys are doing.
Thanks.
And that's why
Such
these
a
guys.
thumper-like place. Irish Outlaw has a good point. I hope the cell service is horrible. I want to be left alone from real life.
Well,
Agree.
sit right next to Tony. Tony wants to be left alone even by himself, right? And it's like
it's funny because there's a whole different set of challenges when you're managing, say, a few hundred bracket racers versus a few hundred, YouTubers. The challenges are different.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're trying to make it all work with everybody's own eccentricities, and it's interesting. It's a lot of fun, but it's interesting.
And I'm sure there's going to be at least 30% of people who have never drag raced before.
At least.
Oh yeah, I bet it's more than that. It's probably more around 50 to 70% of them.
Yeah. So you got to deal with that too. People saying, "Well, what do I do now?" And where do I go?
And that's why we thought, Friday we're doing there's going to be a bracket race Friday, right? And I thought maybe we should kick around the idea of doing just a novice bracket race first before we start the big one, because there's going to be so many people that have never done it, right? That let's give them a few whacks at the track before you start throwing them in there with everyone else, because otherwise just Mopar Joe would eat them alive, right? So let's have fun with it. It's not supposed to be serious. Nobody wants to take this serious the whole weekend, I don't think.
Hey,
Andy
Bear.
Nelson says herding cats is herding cats.
Yes, so.
Yeah, we actually heard this. The things you hear. This event shouldn't have 4 and 5 second cars. Well, tell that to the Nelsons, who have a junkyard 6-cylinder in a chassis they built themselves that they're going to run in the 4s. This event is for not just for small channels. It's not just for slow cars. It's for all of us. Slow cars, fast cars, big channels, small channels, and we're all going to. I don't care if you have 500 subscribers or 500,000. You eat a chicken leg and hang out the same way, right?
That's it.
I'm thrilled to have the Nelsons here. I'm thrilled to have, if somebody wants to bring something that takes 20 seconds to get down the 8th, I'm just as thrilled to have everybody there.
I'm hoping I make it in 20 seconds. We'll see.
You'll be fine. The tree time's out at 22, and I've seen stuff go down the track that is right at the limit, But
Right.
The thing has 8 horsepower. We'll see. If
you'll
the
be
monkey
fine.
bikes can do it, I can do it.
Well, so Andy from Union Motorsports Garage is saying, will there be a driver's meeting? And Andy, because so few people have not been down the track before, we're going to have to do a driver's meeting.
Yes.
That should be almost a mandatory, because most people won't know track turnoff etiquette or how to run back through the pits or pick up your time slips. We're going to have to cover the basics. And if you want to help me out with that, that would be great.
Andy, that would be wonderful. If you can help with that, we'd love to put you to work. I think you'd be great for that. Actually, Andy and Just Mopar Joe and Blake, I think they're my mods. All 3 of them, and would be wonderful for that. Yeah. So, you guys, if you want to do that, we'd love to have you.
Do we know how tech is going to work yet?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
We have big channels coming so far. Some of them are in limbo. Some of them have said, yeah, I'm coming. I want to let them announce when they want to announce, what they want to announce, that they're going to No Name Nationals. So I'm just leaving that, because there's one of them that said, hey, I got this conflict. If I get it resolved, I'll come to your event. And I don't want to put that out of there ahead of them being able to do an announcement video. So that's the kind of stuff I'm trying to be reserved. Like, for example, Dallas and I already know what we're doing for announcers, okay? But we want to get that set in stone and have all the details done and then do our announcement, right? Because we don't want to back up and under-deliver on something that we were part of rumoring to be there, right? So that's why we're trying to do that.
Yeah. I was wondering, do we know how tech is going to work yet?
Good Dallas question.
Tech is going to be set up near the 660 Saloon, which everyone should be familiar with. It's probably one of the most centrally located buildings on in the pit area.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, we're just going by basic tech. What do you think the car runs? What kind of equipment's in there? You go up there and you do a blistering fast number, and if the number's on the board, it's going to meet the safety equipment. If the number says no time deal, I don't know what it ran. Looked pretty quick to me. Hopefully, it's got the safety jump. Right? So,
as of right now, there's no food vendors, right? People are going to bring their own barbecue and stuff like that.
Well, they have a concession stand at the track.
Oh, okay.
Right. So it'll be open pretty much all day during the event, because there's going to be hopefully there's a lot of spectators that come in, and they would have to buy something, because most of them aren't going to be pitted near you, right? But for you, if you want to have your own barbecue or a grill running the whole time, knock yourself out.
I figure I'll get some bar-ass hot dogs and sell them for $8 a piece.
That's how you're going to make your Uncle Joe money back.
That's right.
That's right.
This is not a bad question.
What if rust is all that's in the car? Okay. I don't know what to do with that.
The structure's not rusty.
Yeah, put some fiberglass resin on it, and hopefully it stays in there.
Don't leave any on the track.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Andy, what question is this? I missed. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Sometimes we don't connect the dots between what was asked and when the question floats through.
Yeah. Well, let me scroll back and see if I can find something.
Well, no, I mean he's saying he's addressed it to me, so I'm not sure.
Oh, was it to you?
Could be. He's saying that he and I and Vizard have discussed it, so it's something I know about. I just don't necessarily know what he's talking about. Okay, Lunar's got a tech question here.
NHRA requires vehicles.
Rule clarification for you guys. NHRA requires vehicles with the battery relocation to have an external cutoff at the back of the vehicle, furthest most point of the vehicle. Do you guys have the same rule in AHRA?
Yes. And it has to be that way. And the reason for that is in case you get in an accident, if you had, let's say you had the cutoff at the opposite end of the car, that battery cable could be dead shorted after the accident for the entire time until you get the battery disconnected mechanically, right? So I mean, if anybody's ever seen a battery explosion, that's probably something. If nobody's ever seen one of those, you need to go out and do that for a YouTube video right now because them suckers really go.
So what about like a stock car or something like that,
like a street car?
If it's got the battery in the stock location, you don't have to worry about it. It's generally when the battery's been relocated to the trunk that you'll have to have that cutoff switch.
Well, I'm going to ask you this. If you get in a wreck and you have an electric fuel pump, and you're knocked out unconscious, do you want the safety personnel? Do you want them to be able to flip a switch and shut that off to help you?
Well, hopefully, if you get in a wreck, it shuts itself off. Hopefully, you set that up.
Well, hopefully, but hopefully.
Talking about your car might be
switch that kills it all. I like a switch that kills it all. I just think it's a good idea.
Yeah, sure.
And also, something's a good idea too. If
well, there you go.
You can see a good example on Uncle Tony's garage. He ran his vent for his fuel cell up, and then he ran it down so that whether the car is right side up or upside down, the fuel won't spill out of the vent.
Yeah, that's most guys will make a loop. But if you look, Torque Racing Production here says, I posted a video about the battery cutoff switch on my channel. So he's got a video already.
Nice.
All right. I've got another surprise guest to bring in, and Cletus is like, oh, no. What is this? What is this?
I'm wondering who this could be.
Yeah, Dallas doesn't know either, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Oh, man.
Here.
It's Brian from Dust Devil Garage.
What time is it, Brian?
Oh, that clock is way on the other end of the shop right now. I'm paying attention to that clock.
Did you like that clock, though?
I am just grilling hot dogs here and not paying attention to the clock.
The reason I got Brian on here tonight is because he's decided to move his Weird Hour show from Saturdays to Fridays.
Yeah.
Because it'll kind of relieve some of the traffic. And
well, I saw that you would go live and nobody else would go live. It's like,
hey, they don't want to follow.
I know there's people that will go from one live to the other.
Right.
And mine usually lasts till everybody's asleep. So.
Well, Brian's a friend, and so his show is real different from mine. Whole different crowd, whole different subject matter. He has a social live, right? And he has, I would say, he has the most robust social live on YouTube right now. Really, he does. As far as the number of people that he gets on at any one time, pretty close. I would say Cletus is right there with him. I'd say you two have the two biggest social lives.
I've never seen Cletus's live.
I haven't been doing them.
Jump in.
I went back to doing them like once a month now. So.
Oh, okay. You guys can jump in on mine tonight if you want.
But the thing is, it's a different show. I told Brian, I said, hey, man, if you want to come on at the end of this live and tell people about yours, if you guys want to go over to that and you're not too afraid, you can go over to Brian's live.
You know what's funny is Danny Boyd says we need a Weird Hour National several months away from No Name Nationals. And I'm thinking, if you were to do a Weird Hour Nationals, wouldn't it technically be like that Sunday if we just had No Name Nationals on the Friday, Saturday, and then the Weird Hour?
We're doing the Weird Hour live Saturday night.
Oh, from the track?
From the track. We're going to do the Weird Hour live.
So Dallas, you and I are going to be roving around pit reporting, right?
Yeah.
And Dust Devil's going to be doing the sit down Weird Hour live from Jeffers. So that'll be
we'll be seeing people walk by and say, "Hey, come here."
Hey, you know how like when the racers are in the pits getting ready for the next round. You got one crew talking to them. And then when they lose that round and they go up in the tower and commentate, okay, Brian's got that.
Oh,
Brian's
yeah.
got
As soon as
the
people
tower.
lose, they can come over and sit with us.
Oh,
Right.
wait. So Levi's saying he only has 93 subs to go.
Well, Levi, get cracking, man.
Yeah.
Man, he's almost there. If you haven't subbed to Levi, which I'm sure everyone on here has twice, and created accounts just to sub to him,
Hey,
get over there and create another account and sub to him again.
Oh, okay.
Hey, well, we got 80 people in here. Let me ask you: is there anyone here who did not know that Levi still needs subscribers? Is there anyone here who did not know that? Anyone?
They know it now, right?
Hey, Brewer Racing, how you doing? Thanks for registering. Brewer Racing is now official. He is in the book.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, Brewers they actually put something on the AHRA Facebook page. Oh, speaking of that, I put a Help Wanted ad up today. So if you have a chance, go over there and take a look at the Help Wanted ad I put up for the AHRA.
Yeah,
It'll hit home for a lot of people. So hit the AHRA Facebook page, have a good laugh, and
Dallas put up a job posting on the AHRA Facebook page.
I was thinking about, you guys were talking about, pit etiquette and all that. Couldn't you use the AHRA page for some of that?
Oh, yeah.
Just kind of put that up there. There was one other thing that I had thought about, and I don't know if anybody else thought about it, but you're going to have a lot of people walking around doing, filming, doing lives, everything. I don't know if it's going to bother anybody for me to ask this, but can we try to keep like the music down?
The music's going to be off.
We've already.
Yeah, well, I'm saying in the pits and everything, because because we don't want people to get copyright strikes or somebody. They film this whole thing, then they got to cut this section out of the video, and
Well, I'm just gonna, when random people walk by, I'm just gonna start playing the Rick Roll song.
This
now, but it's non-copyrighted music.
This is good right here. So Steven said that he did swap to manual steering in advance of the parking lot. I've swapped to manual steering driving down the road when the belt comes off.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't swapped to manual?
Quick swap. Or when all the fluid leaks out when you got a leak.
Yeah.
Yes, the No Name Nationals is the event that covers itself.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, indeed. That's another thing too, to be on your best behavior, because if you're not, there's going to be all kinds of evidence.
Oh yeah, you'll be on everybody's channel. Everybody be making fun of you. You won't be able to live it down for sure.
Yep.
Oh,
get away with it.
What's going to be awesome is like if you go, let's say you go to I don't know, Dust Devil Garage, and you watch the stream on there, and you're like, man, Brian's not doing anything fun. You can just switch over to, let's say, Levi's channel and go, oh wow, it's the same thing. It's the same place happening at the same time, but it's just a completely different perspective. It's literally going to have 400 different perspectives at the same time at the same event.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We're going to have lots going on, lots of fun. We consider Cletus to be our ambassador.
Have we discussed drones?
What's that?
Have we discussed drones?
Drones? That was our talk. The drone thing, we're going to have to figure out something. There's going to be a lot of drones there, more than anywhere. So we just got to make sure that we're safe on all of that stuff.
Big
I
Billy
hate for a drone to get down the top end of the track somewhere.
Big Billy Racing's asking a pretty good question here. Dallas, modern Challengers, Chargers, and 300s have factory battery relocation to the trunk. Do they require an external cutoff? If it's the factory battery location, then the wiring harness is already set up for that, right? The relocation was an issue because of the way it was set up. You had that really long battery cable running the length of the car, and it could be dead shorted anywhere along that. So no, it doesn't have to have an external cutoff. Now, if you put the battery back up under the hood where they're not normally at factory, there's going to be a problem. But yeah, drones would be pretty cool. I just don't know how. I mean, if you crash them, you crash them. But I'd hate for them to see like crash it into NSB's Dart going down the track.
Yeah, that was.
Yes, Carlo says cousin Cletus, an ambassador. Yes.
All right,
he is
Kurt,
a legit ambassador. We're proud to have him as our ambassador.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, Turlo. Yeah.
Yeah, take that, Turlo. All right. Anybody else have any questions or anything? Brian is on his channel. It said he's scheduled to go live here in 24 minutes, but
Yeah, it's probably gonna be
just-
sooner than that.
he'll go live whenever he jumps off. We'll
Yeah,
get
it'll probably be about 5 minutes after this one ends. And
Wendy, you know someone that's going to get kicked out of the NNN?
I doubt that.
If you already know they're going to get kicked out, tell them not to come.
Well,
Yeah.
we haven't technically had to kick anyone out yet, and
No.
you're all welcome until you do cross that line.
the
But
jerks seem to be kicking the
Just remember,
shorts
it'll
out.
be on camera
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. Brian, was the sabuku that people are committing. Like, I'm going to go out on a limb and throw myself out of the event. Why? I don't know.
No, if you know somebody who wants to get thrown out, tell them not to come. We don't need that.
That's my favorite movie, Dallas. I appreciate you using that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I dig that movie
Hey,
too.
here's a good question. Are you guys going to have driver wristbands?
Well, I mean, we can have driver wristbands. It's probably a smart thing to do. Just so you know, if you see someone drinking with a wristband on, they probably shouldn't be unless they've already lost for the day.
Danny Boyd is talking about a video I got 250,000 views on. Drunks getting thrown out of a football game. Yeah, if they show up, they could get tossed. Can I get thrown out for a video? Yeah, you could. Depends what you want to put in the video.
I'm sure you can get
I
quite a
won't
few
say it.
views.
I won't
Well-
say it. I won't say it.
If you're planning to come to this thing and fight, one, just don't come. But there's nothing we can do to stop you. Just make sure you're not going to lose the fight, because you're going to have 1,000 people filming you, and everybody in the world's going to see that fight and
Yeah.
see you get your butt kicked. Might as well just not take the chance.
It's going to be on
Well,
everybody's channel.
And Brian can attest that you're also in Southeast Missouri, right? So if you're making threats against someone, oh my God, you're in Southeast Missouri. There's about 1,000 places to put a body. All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Serious.
Don't get the
Oh,
weird
I grew
Al
up
started.
down
Wait,
there. I already know the places.
Missouri actually has some crazy laws too against that. So if you flip somebody off going down the road, you can get a ticket.
Here's
Oh, I've
here's a
never
good
gotten that
question.
ticket.
Mongrels, who's running, I believe, 4th now, maybe even 3rd in the No Name 500, has a good
close.
question.
They're getting there.
You're good with the driver's license. If you have any other sanctioning bodies
Well,
racing license, we'll take that too.
He does have a Canadian driver's license,
Yeah.
though. We got to watch that guy. Ooh.
Oh man,
you?
Canadian, dang! Are you guys on the opposite side? No,
He's
I'm
up
kidding.
there.
I know you're not.
He is.
He's up there in what is it, Northwest Canada, something like that.
Well, they also got the weird
I've heard of it.
speedos, right? Where can you guys go
Oh,
that fast on
gentlemen.
the drug strip?
Tall John's Fun Shop says check them out. Hello, Tall John's Fun Shop. How you doing?
Tall John, I hope you jump over whenever I fire up my live tonight.
Dizzy
Oh, that's
Izzy.
easy,
Izzy.
easy.
He says he'll be racing at Jeffers tomorrow.
Oh, sweet. Well, I
Let's
tell you what.
get your subs together so you can be racing September 30th and October 1st too.
Yeah, well, John and I actually have an idea for old Dizzy Izzy here. We got a great
Yes, we
idea,
do.
'cause his car is called the Angry Vagrant. If you've never seen it,
Hey, just let him do the video. Let him
yeah,
do the
I'll
video.
I'll just do the video, and put it up. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, don't tell him. Let him do the video. You
Oh,
got
Dallas,
to
so you're gonna be there tomorrow?
You got to wait.
I am. Yeah, tomorrow's brackets for their performance-based payout brackets, so I'll be there.
Oh, okay, I think me and Miss Dust Devil might run down there.
All right, sweet. Well, you guys can hang out.
Buff is asking if he can be a mechanic ringer. As a spectator, may I help work on someone's? I don't know why not.
Come on down, Buff.
Oh,
yeah,
Buff,
why-
come
why
out here.
would
Let
we
me
prohibit
finish this
such a
car.
You work on Volvos?
Yeah.
I met
Buff's
Buff
like the
before.
man.
He's a
He can
cool
literally
guy.
work
Come
on anything.
finish my duster, Buff.
Just bring some tools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got a lot of Canadians.
I'm telling you.
Three
dude.
from Alberta.
Whew.
Great.
All right, you guys in the chat got anything else? We got a rare treat here. It's very unusual to have Cletus, 113 Cycles, and
Yeah.
Dust Devil Brian all here. In fact, this is Cletus's first time on this channel. It's 113's first time on this channel, and I believe it's the second time for Brian. He was on
No,
for
I
his
think this is my
Crossing
first.
500. Yeah, you
Well,
were on
No,
the Crossing
oh, yeah,
500.
I might have jumped on whenever I hit my 500. Yeah.
That's right. So
Well,
this is an unusual crowd for us to have. Take advantage if you got any questions for these guys.
But Don English is saying, Buff, I'm sure there'll be a pit thrash. There's actually an award at the No Name Nationals for the best pit thrash award, right? So Buff could easily get in on that.
Okay. When does the time limit start on that? Because I'm probably going to be working on mine in the pits on Thursday, finishing.
You're probably going to be still putting your car together in the pits.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be finishing it up on Thursday.
All right, last pass at the No Name Nationals. Hold on, I just got
it. Oh man, there'll be plenty of tools and duct tape and bubble. Oh yeah.
And zip
without a doubt.
Zip ties.
I don't know how many total from Canada. We have several different to the what do they call? Is there provinces or what do they call those things? We have several represented actually.
Province, I think that's right. Yeah.
Sound about right.
Sounds good. We'll go.
JB, are you headed to Dust Devil after this? Yep. Fun crowd. Sometimes I get on the Dust Devil lives. Can't always, but sometimes I do.
Yeah,
all
at the
right,
beginning it starts out all right. Then a couple hours in it starts to get a little weird. I don't know.
It does get a little weird. It's put the kids to bed, but they have a good time. Brian runs a good show over there. We got all kinds of different shows here on YouTube, and we do different things. But Brian's is definitely of the social variety, and he runs a good show over there. He's a good host, so you can check him out. And unless the chat has anything else, we'll go ahead and wrap up. The plan is we were so close this time, but we want to announce the announcers next live with Dallas. So hopefully we will have them all on the live.
We were 66% there.
We have an announced team, an all-star announced team. So we will try for that for the next time. We were close to getting it done today, but we still have some details to take care of. So with that, I'm going to thank the mods, Just Mopar Joe, Unity Motorsports Garage, Blake from Bad Tree Productions, and Fubar the Axe. I really appreciate you guys. Swamp Rat James, where did you come from? You never troll with my channel. Thanks for stopping by, man. We're going to take good care of your brother. Are you going to come out and watch he and Andy do their one and done race? I hope you make it. Love to see you.
Yeah, if you come with Tony, bring a dustpan and a broom, because I'm expecting you to be putting bottle rocket pieces in the dustpan.
Hey,
Tony will leave it all out there on the track.
We may be putting Casper pieces in the dustpan too. Casper's already proved they can throw a rod out.
Well, he could. I mean, I know Tony does not plan on just tickling bottle rocket down the track. He's gonna freaking beat it like a rented mule.
Tony gonna let it eat. But I'll anyway. Thank the mods. So coming up, just so you guys know, we got coming up on this live a week from tonight. We've got Jason from Country Boy Gas Garage. He is the guy that found a 48 Ford church bus in the woods and made it run and drove it out. And he's getting ready to have a reunion with the bus with the church that used to own it. So we're going to be talking about that reunion on our live on Friday. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then Dallas and I will hope to be announcing the announcers on the next live after that. And then if we can work it out technology-wise, we're going to have Ed from Ed's Machine on to school us on machining processes. That'll be a fun live for the June the 24th. So got a fun bunch of June lives coming up.
Yeah.
If you need a copy of the aerial overhead map, just hit up John or myself, and I'll be happy to email you.
Yeah, we'll get to you. Cool. Also, one other thing. This Sunday, day after tomorrow, we are having another content creator workshop. Any of you No Name 500 guys that want some help getting your stuff improved to get subscribers, we're going to have Blake from Bad Tree Productions. We're going to have Buzz from Roadkill Customs, and they are going to be helping you with your channels again. And those who have listened and worked with the advice Buzz has given them, they have prospered with it. So there's several ways to get there, but that's a good place to come to say, hey, what does this video need to go from being a good video to a great video? Buzz and Blake are there to help. We'll have them Sunday, and that'll be at, I believe, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central.
And Dizzy Izzy, you need to be at that thing, man. You need to catch one of these things.
and they're fun. They're a round table, but it's all about the technology of YouTube videos. The titles, the thumbnails, production, the length, the searching, all of that stuff. We get into any of that you guys want to. So then they're fun. Turlo, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was fun. And with that, we're going to sign out and see you guys in a week and the No Name 500 Content Creator Workshop on Sunday. We'll see you guys.
All right. See you later.
See you.
Head over to Dust Devils.
Yeah.